From News 19, I'm meteorologist Daniel Bonds. Hurricane season officially begins on June 1st. Here we are May 22nd, and we're watching at least one area in the tropics for a small chance for potential development. But we can and do have storms before the official start of hurricane season. That's pretty common, but you see our hurricane frequency as we go through time here. The peak of the season is September 10th, and then after that, at least typically, our hurricane and tropical storm activity does decrease. The season ends on November 30th, and we can have storms after November 30th as well. So far this season, no named storms, but May 11th, they had to go back. According to National Hurricane Center, this was an unnamed subtropical storm in mid-January. So this was on May 11th. This was the post-storm analysis. The National Hurricane Center did determine that this was a subtropical storm. So it was the first storm, at least officially, of the season, but it won't be named. So it won't be a named storm at this point. We're continuing to get those hurricane forecasts in. Colorado State, they issued theirs earlier this year, and they're forecasting 13 named storms, 6 hurricanes, 3 major hurricanes. Here's the average between 1991 and 2020, 14 and a half or so, a little over 7 hurricanes and about 3 major hurricanes. Last year, we had 14, 8, and 2. NOAA will announce their 2023 Atlantic hurricane season outlook on Thursday. So we'll get another outlook. So this will be issued on Thursday from NOAA. That is obviously the official one, but a lot of products come out when you're talking about named storms. Speaking of named storms, here are the named storms for 2023. Arlene, Brett, Cindy, Don, Emily, you can read all of them there. Franklin, Gert, Harold. Hopefully we won't get too far into this list, but there is those names for 2023. Now, water temperatures obviously pretty warm in the Gulf of Mexico and along the Gulf Stream. So you see these warm waters moving in from the south and then kind of moving up towards the north and east. A little bit warmer than normal. The yellow colors indicate above normal temperatures at this point, and the bluish here are indicating below normal temperatures. So our waters are a little bit above normal at this point. And as we mentioned, we are watching one area in the tropics. You see this one down here. It's not too far away from the Bahamas, just east of the Bahamas. Hurricane Center gives it about a 10% chance of further development over the next 2 days. So that's something we'll be watching. Probably won't have any impact. Our weather is going to move generally towards the north and east. But a little bit later in our work week, a low pressure is expected to form somewhere along the southeastern coast. That could impact the weather, at least for the beach weather, over the weekend, over the Memorial Day weekend. So here is the tropical forecast. This is kind of comparing the two global models. This is comparing the American and the European model. And you'll notice here the American model showing an area of low pressure, European model showing kind of a broad area of low pressure. And then as we go into Saturday afternoon, both models showing at least some type of low pressure off the southeastern coast, it looks like, on Saturday. So you're talking about pretty good chance at least for some rain, even if this thing doesn't turn into anything, and then it does kind of move towards the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Here's the European forecast model, and it shows kind of basically the same thing. That 10% blob we're watching continues to move towards the north and east, but you look at here on Friday morning, broad area low pressure starting to develop, and it kind of moves towards North Carolina. This would be Saturday, May 27th. And you see a lot of rainfall. So if you do have those plans to head to the beach over the Memorial Day weekend, there probably will be some rain at this point. The American model shows basically the same thing. This is Friday, May 26th, and you'll notice a broad area of low pressure. They're kind of moving into North Carolina. So both of the global models kind of showing the same thing. So that's something we'll kind of have to watch for over the weekend. Typically, early season storms do form in this kind of bluish area here, so it's not uncommon at all to have a storm develop in that area right off the coast of South Carolina, North Carolina, and Georgia. Basically the same thing for Georgia, except the area that they start to develop kind of gradually increases out towards the west. That's the case in August as well. You'll notice the area continues to expand September, and then as we get to October, that area of development kind of decreases, and certainly as we go into November, that area shrinks even more. So again, hurricane season, a very long season. Now last year we were impacted, or at least somewhat impacted, I'll say, by 3 storms. Nicole brought some rain to parts of the Palmetto State. You see Ian there and Colin as well. So 3 named storms at least had somewhat of an impact on us in South Carolina last year. But here we are on May 22nd. Hurricane season begins officially on June 1st, but we'll continue to follow hurricane season. It's a long season. We'll be watching that one area that the Hurricane Center is watching, and we'll also have to pay attention to the potential for that low to develop off the southeastern coast, maybe impacting beach weather over the weekend.